I had a new agent, and she suggested I do more personal writing. She said she thought, because of my background in schools as a teacher as well, that I might be able to write the voice of a contemporary child. And I'd always been really keen on things like Highwayman, where I had, I suppose, fantasy elements in stories. So I'd always have something weird that was lurking somewhere that somebody discovered, or that changed everybody, or something of that kind. Ella on the Outside is not that. Ella on the Outside came about, I think, partly because I was doing so much work with year 5 and 6, and I started to think about the impact on a child who's new in school. So I thought about my own childhood. I was brought up in Scotland. My family moved twice within the Scottish system, and then we moved when I was, I think, 11 or 12. We moved down from Glasgow to Cambridge. And I moved from Glasgow in a mixed primary school to Cambridge in an all-girls secondary school with no gap in between. And I didn't start at the beginning of the term either. I started partway through. So I started to talk to children in school about what that's like, to move schools. And I told them about my experience of being from Glasgow and having a broad Scottish accent. I had an accent like Billy Connolly. And we moved down to Cambridge, and I was completely taken apart by my class in the girls' school. I was completely humiliated for a long time about my accent, and I learned not to say anything. I learned not to speak until I could have an English accent. I just lost the accent and just didn't speak until I had lost it. And I talked to children about this in school, and I did assemblies about it, and I was getting so much back about the experience of being new. I felt as if that's what I wanted to write. So I started writing this book, Ella on the Outside. In the story, Ella starts school mid-term. She's new, I'm seeing it as either year 6 or 7. She has no friends, she knows nobody. She's always been the sort of girl who had one friend who she was completely kind of bonded to and knew. And she's lost that friend because they've moved. They've moved quickly as well. They have a family secret which has to be protected. She must not talk about this to anybody. She's been told not to. So she's going into school in this rather anxious state. She also has childhood eczema, which I had. I put this into the story, I just dropped it in actually because it was true that I had childhood eczema, and it did have an effect on my confidence as a child. But I've had so much response from this element in the story, and it's actually not part of my plot. Ella has eczema, just like kids have all sorts of stuff. But anyway, I started writing Ella on the Outside about this character Ella, and she messes up. So the story is about her messing up.